to the Connect Cuptalk show. My name is Patricia, and today we are going to be talking about modern parenting and traditional parenting. Yeah, as we all know, there has been a change in so many things about how we are brought up back then and right now. Yeah, we all know, we have seen these things where kids these days do, something wrong, and their parents would never want to even touch them. Yet for us, they would even call the whole village to discipline you, to correct you, even at school. Yeah, your parent could come in, tell the teacher to even add you ×3. These days you cannot even beat a kid. Yeah, so today we are going to be talking about that with my colleagues, and they are going to be sharing with us their opinions on what they think about this. So welcome, Marvin. Give us what you think, your opinion about modern parenting and traditional parenting.
Yes, thank you, Patricia. Yeah, once again, hello to our viewers. My name is Marvin, and it's always a pleasure to be a part of the Cuptalk show. Yeah, now, to start with, I just want to send shout-outs to every kid from the 90s. Yeah? If you're a 90s kid, chances are you're more likely you are a product of the traditional parenting. Yeah? And we know how that really had really a big impact on us, yeah? And then for the 20s kids, the so-called Generation Z, these kids don't know what you're even going to talk about here. They don't even have a glimpse of what traditional parenting is. Yes, there are parents who still practice that, but it's not as, the same way those guys would do it, yeah? Now, for those guys probably who are wondering what's the difference between traditional parenting and then modern parenting, let me just put it like this. The techniques in traditional parenting are rigid and they lack flexibility. They're inflexible, yeah? And then for modern parenting, there is this discipline, or there is this ideology of every child deserves a unique way of parenting, yeah? But with traditional parenting, I mean, there are strict rules and, the policies are just so clear. You understand? You don't do this. If you do it, these are the repercussions. But with modern parenting, parents believe every child is different, yeah? And every child is entitled to a unique way of treatment depending on their needs, yeah? Now, in my take, I would say times have changed. Like, at least let's just admit that times have changed, and we're in a generation where I think things are shifting away from where we knew them from, and we're just moving into another kind of phase that we're mostly not so clear about. But as a parent, you just need to be so considerate to that child that you're bringing up, yeah? With the traditional parenting, these guys would focus more on your ethic, yeah? And your discipline. You need to be hardworking in order to achieve something, you understand it? They focus more on accomplishments and grades, you understand? So with traditional parenting, if you're in school, yeah, grades are a must, you understand? As soon as you report home, like, sir, you're like, how many marks did you get did you score in mathematics, in chemistry, and whatsoever? And that's how they are going to do it, to scale a kid. And with modern parenting, parents now are focusing more on, okay, maybe my child has some weakness here, but then they focus on their strengths, yeah? Let me put it like this. A child could be weak academically, yeah, in class, but then they have these other skills outside the academics. They which are like their stronghold, yeah. So a modern parent would focus more on the child's strengths. Let me say the kid is into athletics, yeah, or is into sports. Let me say kid is good at badminton. Or swimming. You find this parent focusing more on this kid, maybe taking swimming classes or badminton classes, other than really criticizing them for their performance in class. Yeah. Now that's what modern parenting is all about. And in my take, I think I'll just say we just need probably to be lenient. However much we don't need to really spare the kid and maybe strip all those traditional techniques under the rug. Yeah, we just need to have them in place, but we just need to be considerate and try to find a way of blending the traditional means and the modern means. Yeah.
That's true. All right, Shan. Tell us, what's your opinion? Are you the kind that would, still acknowledge traditional, developing kids, punishing?
Okay. Thank you so much, Patricia. Once again, I'm Shan, and I'm so humbled to be part of this show. As for me, I think both ways have the good side and the bad side. But I think that traditional has more good sides because I was brought up the way you were raised, the same way I was raised, but at least somehow we have something in common.
True.
Because we were raised when we know you can't talk to an elder while standing up. You have, even if you don't kneel, you have to be humble.
I know.
Because some of us in our cultures we don't kneel, but for the sake of where we were raised, you have to at least be humble when talking to an elder. But right now, there's some video that was trending on TikTok. Oh, was it TikTok or? So there's like a kid who the mother was telling her what, and the kid said, "Mom, fuck you, bitch." So you say it here, they give you.
I know.
So you can't tell me a child is going to see this child say the same, and then it's okay to some parents nowadays, but in our like Marvin said, us who were born in the 90s, it was an abomination, to be given badly. But right now, I think the way I look at my little ones, you see, the things that they don't take to be serious. Like, I don't know. I don't really understand it because somehow, the way we were raised helps us. Because the people that you have to talk to when you're humbled, and these guys will just, you don't know, these kids right now, you just go and talk to someone the way you want, because for them it is okay. But the morals that they taught us are kind of helping us, and you can't sit a child down right now and tell them you are supposed to do like this. You're not supposed to date. You're not supposed, because this guy, however much you tell them they are young, they have phones. They're going to see things that even if you try to tell them they are bad, but they're going to see others doing them, and there's no way you're going to tell them you're not supposed to do this or what. No. So my opinion is, the traditional is better to me, but even this other one, the modern one is okay, because we are moving forward. Like right now, kneeling down is not a big deal. Like you can okay, it is okay when you're talking to someone old, like okay, it is not I can say it's not a big deal, because me, I don't know when I last knelt down for my father, because someone I take to be so special to me. But if I can talk to my dad while not kneeling down, how about a man? So I can be humble while not kneeling down. What matters is me being polite while talking to an elder or a gentleman. So, I don't know. But somehow the modern way is also good, because it helps us. You're going to make this person be kind, like Marvin said, in school, but you don't know this person's talent is going to take him far better than the academics. Because even when we were studying, footballers were given special treatment.
I know, right?
These guys would not go for preps. They would not go for morning preps or what. They're just cheating. And, so me, I think, even the modern also helps us somewhere, because you don't have to look so much into academics or something. You can also let someone discover their talent, and it can help them out somewhere somehow. Yeah, for me, that's my opinion as Shan. Yeah.
Well, for me, my opinion is I think I'm just saying this because I'm talking from my own point of view. Yeah. Me growing up, I was not someone who needed to be keen to do things. I'm a one, like you told me one time, like, don't do this, I will not do it. So for me, I really don't believe in being harsh with kids. Yeah, you don't really have kubanga. You see these kids. Okay, me, I've even seen it with my young siblings. I somehow told my dad, why don't you sit down and let them tell you? Because do you know that sometimes tutanya bazadde, we even go through things, but we cannot express them because of the way we are brought up. Right now, kids can do that. But imagine you're being harassed at school. Yeah, but because your parent is not even your friend, like how are you even supposed to tell your mom, oh, there is a kid at school doing this to me? How do you even have such conversations with your parent? But sometimes we need to tell these things to our parents because they need to know first. But because some parents bring out, I remember I was jazzing with a friend and I told her, I was talking to my mom about my boyfriend and she was like, what? Your mom knows, like you guys have that conversation. Can't even me, I was shocked. I'm like, what is wrong with that? You can't. Oh my God. Like me, my mom is like, okay, now that's the difference, yeah? Because me, I always tell my mom, she even asks me, how is your boyfriend? She doesn't know him, that I've never met, but she asks, how is your boyfriend? She actually says, Mkwano go aliacha, and I'm like, he's okay. But we don't go deep. Obviously, you cannot have sexual conversations, but not sexual. Obviously, not sexual conversations, but they ask, I'm like, he's okay, you guys are fine, okay, that's it. But then even at our age, 24 years, you cannot even, now you see, like, that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, it's good, but to that, okay, for that specific matter of opening up to our parents, chibi, because sometimes we go through things like poor performance at school. I always tell my dad, instead of, you come back home, instead of actually sitting down with this kid and you're like, but from P1 to P4 you're getting F9s in math, what could be the problem? It's like, I'll give an example. They told me prisons abroad, they don't harass you. They try to be friendly so that you open up. After opening up, they even give you coffee. They get handcuffs more prison. You're now friends. So it's easier for someone to open up when you're friendly to them than when you're harsh. Because I could be failing in class because there is a teacher, maybe Mvuma. That is why I'm failing math. But traditional parents, you cannot tell them, but teacher, like, but maybe, yes, parents can be like, like, but that's the truth. Maybe there is a certain teacher who is always pinpointing me with insults, what I feel small. Yeah, so for me, I don't know, I feel like maybe the bit of parents being reluctant on disciplining kids, but modern parenting, somehow I would go with it. Somehow. The only problem with modern parenting is parents lay back on disciplining kids. When a kid does something, they just laugh. And that's where my kid is. She loves to throw things at people. Like, yeah, actually I watched a TikTok video and that chick was saying she visited a certain home and the kid came and the mom was like, oh, you know what? And then when she found the kid outside, so she went and slapped the mom. When she slapped the mom, now the mom reacted. But when the kid was slapping a visitor, she didn't react. So that's where you parents go wrong. As long as you don't like be, you can be tough without beating. My dad is very tough. I can tell you, my entire life he has caned me twice. But my dad is the toughest person you can ever know. So as long as you be tough to these kids and you mean what you say, you tell them don't play, like they will not play. Like, at least be tough, even if you don't cane, but be serious on what you're saying. Like, I don't want you to, kids will fear, they will even, because kids fear they can even cry. But some parents, so for me, I feel like modern parenting, but it's kind of better in our bonding with kids and actually raising them in a better way, because you get to know your kid very well. That is why you see, your kid grows up and they tell you, do you know Shan from childhood she has been doing this thing, and you're like, what? I don't know Shan like that. But because parents are so apart from their kids, because they feel like you're familiarizing with your dad. How do you be so close with your dad? For them, they feel like you're supposed to be fearing him. When you see him, the whole everybody starts to shiver. Like, that's even bad. You're supposed to be respecting them, not fearing them. Yeah, you can respect someone, but those parents, when they come, everybody wants to, like they have seen a ghost or something. So anyway, that's my opinion about that. Do you have anything to say, baby?
Okay, yeah. Of course, I want to comment about something here. Yeah. You've raised really a good example here. Yeah. The idea of modern parenting. Yeah. It's for the parents to gain respect from their children and not to fear them. But then, I'm sorry to break it to you that that is again observed more in the traditional parenting in the long run. Hear me out. Now, we'll just admit the fact, if you're a 90s kid, when you're a kid, of course there's that fear that these people instill in you, the parents, and I just want to break the narrative that every traditional parent resorts to beating. There are those parents who don't beat, but they just know how to do it, to lay the guidelines, and they are strict. You understand? Like, they are just strict, but they don't really raise their hand on the kid or beat the kid. Maybe for the kid, regardless, they are going to interpret that as rudeness, like the parent is rude. You understand? But it's actually on the contrary that the traditional parents, in the long run, gain that respect and non-fear from their children. Whereby, with the modern parenting, I would say the technique that is really bred out of modern parenting is that permissiveness. The permissiveness of I let the kid express their individuality freely. You understand? So if this kid is free to express themselves or to really be what they are around you, there are chances that you're going to lose that respect that you want from this kid. You understand? This kid is going to talk back to you. These kids, Shan gave an example of that kid, your guys, if you're on social media, you know that kid who responded to the mom like, fuck you, bitch. You understand? That kid who was being expressive, because maybe that's the way it is. And chances are, that white mom just looked on like, huh. You understand? But the kid has said it and she's going to move on. You're not going to do it to beat them. But with traditional parents, they just believe if you're young, your feelings don't mean to them. And exactly. And you don't really have much say in the way they should bring you up. You understand? So in that process, you're not going to really realize what they're doing. We get to appreciate what they were doing when we do it, when you grow up. And that translates into respect to them. However much they're going to be now old and all in the wheelchair and they can't really do much. You're physically stronger than them, you're more audible than them. Back then they will be maybe yelling at you, because there are those parents who just yell. They don't really beat, but the moment you do something wrong, you're going to hear your name just out of the blue, like, Shan! And then you put yourself in check. You understand, Now, there are those parents. But even when they're old and they can't really yell no more, their words are still going to be as powerful as they used to be, because that's the way they brought you up. But for me, I think that's respect and not fear. You understand? But with modern parenting, in the long run, this kid, because they're brought up with that element of, you can express your individuality freely, they end up really failing to draw the boundaries right. You understand? They just don't know how I'm supposed to talk back to this parent or this kind of an elder or something like that. You understand?
You didn't get me. Like I said, the only problem is not correcting. I said it. When a kid does something wrong, you are supposed to correct it. That is why I said, for me, my dad doesn't beat, but he will let you know that you're doing something wrong. It's what I said. You fear him, but it doesn't mean that not beating is let kids go their way. No. And what I meant is bonding is when your kid doesn't fear you but respects you. That is what I meant. When you respect your mom, you can express yourself but not insulting her. Because still as a parent, there are those bonds that they keep. Obviously, the way I'm free with Shan is not the way I'm free with my mom. Because you know that that is your mom. I am not going to tell her, you know, mom, I slept with 4 men because I'm being expressive. No. What I mean is being able, like, I don't know if you've grown in the 8 years, you know what I mean. In that even sitting down and having a conversation with your parents, some people don't. I have friends who never have conversations with their parents. It's strictly, that is my dad. Kuita, kutuma, go back and sit. You cannot even sit in the sofa and have a conversation or you talk about family issues. There are those families where your dad is here, you have to be the other side. When you come closer, that is what I meant. So the fact that parents want to keep kids because your kid's far away, what I'm trying to mean is opening up. Like, I don't know how to bring this up for you to understand. I don't mean letting kids abusing you and all that. That is why I say the only problem comes in when these modern parents don't correct their kids. That's why I gave the other example of a kid slapping the visitor. Yes, at least don't beat her, but tell her they don't they don't slap visitors and I should never see you doing that again. But not getting her you get a wire. Some parents even used to get cables. You beat the kid, the head is swollen because what? Yet you can actually tell them, as long as you mean what you say. Like, don't, Shan, I should never see you. That is very bad. They and kids they can even cry. But what I'm trying to say is there is a way 8 years parents used to be. Even, like, you cannot even tell Shan, like, where you tell your, okay, you know your mom coming on video and you're like, but mom, there is this teacher, I cannot concentrate in class. There are moms who will say, nga others get 90s. For you, nga bala bafuna 90, choga agwe kagogo batayagala, like, but a kid is trying to tell you, mom, I'm facing this problem. That is the kind of bonding I mean, not this bonding of familiarizing with your parents, you abuse them. That is bad. But letting your kids at least be friends with you in a way that they can come and tell you, mom, I'm having this problem. The other time I was telling my colleague Hamza that we have a neighbor. She got pregnant at campus. But she said, I blame my parents. She said, my parents never talked to me. We never have a conversation. They didn't even brief me when I was going to campus. So when I got pregnant, they even embarrassed the whole village. The dad got the things mukubo. Yeah? But she said, I didn't even know what happens when we have sex. I just went. She didn't know anything. They didn't even tell how our boys do this or that. Now that is the thing that I'm saying. You get? She said, I got pregnant. I even didn't know I was pregnant. But you know those traditional parents, they don't want to hear about boy, about. You mention it and you see. They will say you are a prostitute. So that is what I'm trying to say. Yeah? But a kid, like campus level, you at least your mom, okay, fathers don't do that. But your mom can tell you, be careful with boys. You're grown now, you're going to hostel. Okay.
My mom did. She actually told me when I was joining campus. Everyone at Mook is sick. So I never dated anyone from Makerere University. So my mom told me, everyone at Makerere is sick. Those guys are all sick. Don't go close to them. And then my sisters told me, those guys are going to come and they tell you you're beautiful. They were giving me tricks to use. So they tell you, yes, and when they tell you, tell them, yes, I know I'm beautiful. My brothers tell me I'm beautiful. My mom tells me so tell me something new that I've never heard. Like that's to help you out, face these guys. So, that is it.
But there are parents who never want to hear.
I know.
Now, for them, they feel like they're encouraging you to go and date boys. Yet you need this information. That is why we have very many early pregnancies. Because for us, and whites don't, because whites expose this knowledge to kids. Baba Gamba, whether my friend she's in the US, she told me here, it's very hard to simbo a kid, she's 16 and pregnant. You can, but it's sorry, not like here in Uganda. Yeah, it's not on a rampage. Because for them, once your parent knows you're sexually active, they start to tell you family planning methods, because it's the same thing. Whether you tell her or not, once she has started being sexually active, she will never stop.
I know.
Yes, so at campus, most people, let me say like 80%, are dating, are doing all those things. So you really need this information. Unless your mom shouldn't be direct, but they tell you, Shan or Kuze, you're going to be in touch with boys. They will try to do this. They will try to trick you into sleeping with them, but don't. Yeah? Or you'll get pregnant. But first she didn't even know. First she said I didn't even know what I was doing. And my parents didn't even tell me anything, and now they're embarrassing me. So that is what I'm talking about. Like parents of 8 years, but there is a way they handle things. Yes. And now I will say I have an auntie. Actually, I learned this from her. Her kids respect her so much, but she's friends with them. A lot of people thought her kids will be these bespoiled kids. But they all went to good school, they all have good grades, but she's so close to her kids. When her daughter was going to campus, Mugamba, I want you, every time you go out, I know you're going to go out. And that's it. You don't expect a campuser not to go out. Now, every time you go out, I know you will go. You will not tell me, but I know you'll go. Leave a message. So at least when something bad happens to you, we shall know you were out. And they were free. But that is not disrespecting your mother. You cannot abuse your mother because she told you. Let me know. She's just trying to bond with you. So that is what that is my main issue of parents. Trying to treat kids like, I don't know anyway. That's what I meant. Not letting kids be disrespectful, but actually giving them that space of, I'm here, I'm your parent. We can talk, yes, we can talk. Or you can even get tripped. Do you know sometimes even kids get tripped, but they can't tell their parents because they will say, oh, Limba, what are you doing in a boy's room? You love boys. I sing, but you've not even had me out. You don't know what happened. Maybe the boy lied to me and I didn't know he was nice. But you say, Morimba, you love boys. Instead of reading books, you're sleeping with boys. You're prostitutes. We sent you to school. You're in boys' hostels. I know, but I'm traumatized. The boy has raped me. I don't even know what to do. Instead of telling me what happened, did they use a condom? What should we do? That is the first thing. Then you can start the blame games after. But you're not even helping the kid because how you've called so and so the auntie from which village? I mean, you are just adding on trauma. I mean. Anyway, I don't know if Marvin, you've gotten my point, but that's what I was trying to mean, yeah? Yeah. Not letting kids be disrespectful, but giving them a chance to talk to their parents. Yeah. And yes, to be free and tell them when they have a problem. Yeah. Because most kids of our age, like the ones who grew up with us, they never have conversations with their parents. How do you even start to go to a boyfriend? Oh, is there get what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, so moving forward, I want you guys to tell me, what do you think are the pros and cons of modern parenting and traditional parenting? Marvin. What do you think?
All right, thank you, Patricia. Now, before I even go any further, I just want to at least make it clearer here. As for me, I always feel like our generation, we owe it to our parents. Like, we just owe it to our parents because however much the techniques they used to groom us came with some bit of brutality sometimes, But, I mean, these things really have a lot of impact to most of us right now, Some of the guys who are falling victim, let me just now categorize them by their generations, you will find, rarely, you'll find a millennial dealing with issues of probably, is it early pregnancies and stuff like that. Only those probably who are in villages, those guys will still have customs of maybe the kid is now ready for what? For marriage. But for a millennial who really got exposed, who got quality education, the chances that they had this, they were equipped, from home and even at school maybe, to really combat the things that life is throwing at them. And then with the Generation Z, the Gen Z, I feel like these kids are out there maybe, I don't know if I would call it curiosity, or they just feel that hunger to explore. Because for me, I feel like they're really blowing things out of proportions right now. Because the social media and stuff, you find a kid who's like 14, 15, you understand, on TikTok doing things that are really like, oh my God. Yeah, they're really disgusting. Yeah. So for me, I would just say our generation, we really owe it to our parents. Yeah. Now, with the traditional parenting, I'll just say, by the mere fact that these guys really focus more on one's accomplishments, I'm not saying it's entirely right, but I feel like it's going to give us products of go-getters, They don't tolerate mediocrity, you understand? If something is not, I won't say they are perfectionists, but if something is not perfect or it's not good, then you need to really work harder, because for them it's more of hard work, ethics, like ethics and discipline, So for the traditional parenting, I'll just give it to them the way they really focus on things I would call things that really build one's character, And for modern parenting, these guys really just let a kid be who they are or who they truly are. What they do is they just help them to maneuver around those traits that they exhibit and maybe build on their strengths, which is good, But sometimes along the way, these kids lose it. You understand? They lose it, and instead of correcting them, the parents feel like they just can't really do it the way they're supposed to, because they are going to affect the kids' mental health. With modern parenting, by the way, I realize these guys, they focus more on a kid's mental health and well-being, like the well-being and then the mental health. So if something is really going to trigger the kid emotionally in the wrong way, the parent tries to do what? Deviate from that issue, and they try to, really cushion it with some other stuff that can really work well for them, And for me, I feel like that way we're not really doing great, if you're a parent out there anyway. And with modern parenting, they still fail to find a balance between being involved in a kid's life and being too involved in a kid's life, So they don't know when. They fail to get a balance in between there, and that just brings about a lot of confusion to a parent, And with traditional parenting, these guys don't want to know. You understand? Like, they just don't want to know. Like, things are supposed to be clear. Like, it's black and white. There are no gray parts. You understand? That's traditional parenting, and at least that helps even a kid to know what is required of them, But with modern parenting, there are a lot of gray parts. Like, come on. For me, I think. Tradition is still the thing. It should be the thing.
Okay. Shan.
Okay, thank you so much once again. And what can I say? Traditional is, I can say traditional is good because they help us in, we can, traditional, like raising, you can deal with different people in different societies. Like, you can go somewhere where people are using the different culture, but you can relate with them, live with them. But right now, a kid of the modern culture is going to be like, I can't stay here. These people do this and this and this. No, I'm not comfortable. I could recommend traditional because it helps you out in society. You can deal with people of different types. You can You can deal with the young, the old, and the people of your age. Yeah, and for the modern culture is it helps on parent-child relationship. Because me, I wasn't free with my mom. Actually, until now, I don't know. I can't open up with my mom because she was so rude. Okay, I can't say she was so rude because she wanted me to be someone good, and I think I'm who I am because of my mother. Because my dad, you can't do anything to me if my dad is there. No, no way. But I'm friends with him. I can tell him my this and this and this, which I can't do with my mom. And it's not good for a girl because it affected me when I was growing up. There are things I wouldn't tell my dad, but I can't tell them to my mom either because she'll back at me. She won't understand me the way I want her to understand me. And so I advise the modern, okay, it's good because it helps you open up to your parent, because I think your parents have to be your best friends somewhere, somehow. Basically, for a girl, your mom is supposed to be your best friend. You're going to tell her this and this, and she'll advise you. Yeah. And for other things, I can like the problem with the modern is too much freedom. You give someone too much freedom, and they will get spoiled. And in the end, you have no one to blame apart from yourself. Yeah, because it's you who raised this child, and if anything happens, it's you to blame. And this child is also going to blame you if something happens to them in the future. Yeah, so to me, just like Marvin, I choose the traditional because it's best anyway. Yeah.
Well, for me, I'll go a bit contrary still, because like I said, me growing up, I was not a kid who needed to be beaten, and I believe there are kids who are like that too, who can be raised without being harsh. If a kid needs to pull out a stick, then do it. If they don't, if there are kids who are soft, you just back and that's it. Yeah, so me, I somehow go with modern parenting. Only don't side with parents who don't like to discipline their kids, yeah? But modern parenting, you can still times have changed really. You're not going to bring traditional parenting right now because it's somehow not fitting, yeah? Because now like kids, even at school, they ask for iPads. Now how will yours not have, yeah? So you just have to change a bit into this parenting, but still concentrate on the values and morals of a kid growing up. But in a kind of, swift way, kids don't need to be, yeah, you can still respect the values, morals, and the kid will grow up well. Yeah. So anyway, as we are concluding, guys, please advise us, like tell the people out there what you think should be done.
Yeah, thank you, Patricia. And now me, in my conclusion, I think it was unfair to miss out having a Gen Z here. Maybe we would have gotten their view on the way they're being parented, because now first we are all talking from a point of experience that we had, yeah? So maybe we should have had a Gen Z here. But anyway, for me, I think I subscribe to the notion that every kid is unique and they probably need different approaches on parenting, yeah? But I think it's best maybe to integrate the traditional techniques, yeah? As a parent, I think you just need to be authoritarian, like you just need to be, yeah? So I think you just need to find a way of integrating the traditional parenting into the modern parenting, and that way we'll be good to go. Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, as for me, I think, I don't know. But
it's okay, you can say traditional.
No, you can use the modern and apply a little, just traditional for your child. Okay, with or without, because the kids who cannot open up when the parents are not around. So I think we should use both.
Where I need to be.
You can beat, because if you beat me, when I'm not going to change, I'll still do the same thing. So me, I believe.
Yeah, that's it.
Me, I used to follow my dad's advice because he believed in not beating a child. He was like, they beat me when I was a kid, I can never beat anyone.
Because you can understand.
He talked to us, and up to now, we are me. Okay, me. I want to talk on behalf of the others. Me, I believe you can talk to me
and you understand.
You don't need to back at me. You're going to scare me.
Yeah, I know.
Can't you talk to me politely? So you could, regarding the modern, that's the only thing that I can take from there. You can talk to me instead of beating me, because if I'm not going to change, even though you beat me, I'll cry and still do the same thing. So me, I think you can, okay, us, because we shall also be parents. We talk to our children, and they can get what we want them to get. Yeah, that is it for me, and thank you so much for watching us.
Yeah, well, for me still, I would say I don't really have a problem with modern parenting. The only problem is parents who lay back on things that they're supposed to be strict on. Yeah, it's okay for your kid to have an iPad, but restrict them. Tell them in a day use it 2 hours. Go, you put there those restrictions they put on phones. They can't go on bad websites. They can't. Yeah, there are those things that you can do to live within. Yes, to control them from watching over porn, whatever you don't want your kid to do. You can tell them in a day only give you 3 hours to go on WhatsApp. Yeah, so just make sure you are emphasizing on those values and morals. Yeah, even cooking. There are kids who know how to cook, but they have grown up in what? In the modern society. So me, I'm modern parenting, but I still say you should emphasize the things that need to be put emphasis on. Character, morals, discipline, and all that. So guys, thank you for watching. That was it for today, and don't forget to give us your opinion and your views in our comment section. Yeah, and don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification button at Connect TV Uganda on YouTube. Yeah, and like our videos. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.